Mind Zen. Tonight's Dharma talk is given by Myeong Jin Eunsahn.
Just to pull something random, totally out of thin air. Let's say your house is on fire. And you look over and neighbor on the right, their house is on fire. And you look over to the left and the neighbor on the left, his house is on fire. And then you look beyond and neighbors on all their sides and across the street and everywhere you look, house is on fire. Now, as Zen practitioners, we have a number of things that we can do. First thing is get out the hose and spray your own house down as best you can, and then get in the car and get the hell out of Dodge. Or perhaps you go the other extreme and start putting out the fires in all of your neighbors' houses, but neglect to put out the fire in your own house. And then it collapses and the water turns off and nobody's house is getting coated with water. Sometimes that's referred to as idiot compassion. I forget who refers to it as that, but I've heard that. So, getting back to our totally random, pulled out of thin air scenario. So, there's a regular conflagration going on. And you've got a car that would fit a whole bunch of people into it, and you could drive them to somewhere safer, if not totally safe. So you've got this great vehicle, and you get in it, and you ferry all these other people to the other side of the highway, or wherever it is that there's no conflagration. So that's a great vehicle if you can do that, if you can manage to save all those people, even if you can't save their houses. Guifeng Zongmi and Seung Sahn had this 5 classifications of Zen. Zongmi's was outer path meditation. It was religiously motivated, but grounded in some attainment other than the self. At 90 degrees, since it's Seung Sahn, you know it's going to have a compass. So Guifeng refers to goal-oriented or esoteric meditation. And it's no religious motivations. They are normally practiced for the improvement of mental states or bodily health. At 180, you have insight meditation. And this is the type of practice that leads to a state of deep no mind where all sense perceptions are cut off and consciousness is discontinued. At 270, you have the great vehicle meditation. And that leads to self-realization and the actualization of the great way within the context of our daily lives. And then at 360, to complete the circle, you have supreme vehicle meditation, which results in the path and the way fusing into one. no difference between practicer and practiced. Seung Sahn in Compass of Zen Teaching had sort of those classifications, certainly based on those 5 classifications. But his are Outer Path Zen, Common People Zen, Hinayana Zen, Mahayana Zen, and Utmost Vehicle Zen. Now, people hear the H word and immediately shut off all hearing because they don't like it. And Hinayana is certainly kind of dualistic compared to Mahayana, the great vehicle, versus the not so great vehicle. But Hinayana doesn't necessarily have to refer to what people think it refers to, which is Theravada these days. All the old schools of Buddhism I've heard referred to as Nikaya schools also. And for our practices, and I think Seung Sahn really nailed it, putting this down there as Hinayana Zen, there are times when we just practice for our own good. We put out our own fire, we jump in our Prius and get the hell out. Mahayana, on the other hand, you have that other greater vehicle, and you save all those sentient beings. You help as much as you possibly can. We don't forget that we are also part of the all in all sentient beings. We don't go to the extreme of, like I said, idiot compassion, where we totally disregard our own well-being and try and save everyone else. We try and remember that we are part of all sentient beings, and we deserve saving or helping as much as any other sentient being. But we have to do a little self-check every now and then. In a less drastic example, more, day-to-day, when we're practicing, are we practicing to calm down? Are we practicing for better physical health, breathing and posture and all that? Are we practicing just for the sake of our own liberation? Like, if I meditate hard enough for long enough, I'm going to Nirvana. Is it that sort of thing? Is it, I'm going to help all sentient beings as well as myself attain liberation? Or is it, none of that matters, how may I help you? Where are we in that regard? I think if we're honest with ourselves, a lot of the time we're taking the Hinayana Zen road, the lesser vehicle, I'm sitting to become liberated myself. We give lip service to, Zen is a Mahayana school and, save all sentient beings and this and that and the other thing. But I think kinda often, more often than we might want to admit, we're really just giving lip service to helping all sentient beings. If you were in that fire, would we really use the hose on our neighbors' houses as well as our own? Would we really open up the doors to our large vehicle and get them out also? Or would we just get the hell out of Dodge? I think it's one of those things we need to do a practice check every now and then. And these wildfires in California can help us take a look at what we would do in a given situation. And I know unless you've actually gone through a situation like this, fire, flood, tsunami, whatever kind of natural disaster it might be, it's kind of conceptual. You can't really know what you would do. But I think we could take a good hard look at ourselves and our practice and see where we stand in that. Are we practicing lesser vehicle Zen, or are we practicing greater vehicle Zen? Are we really, really, really out to help all sentient beings? So that's just some food for thought. Thank you.